Chapel, San Jose in California being hit with a $350,000 fine. This is all accrued since they decided they were going to keep their church open and defy Governor or Tyrant Gavin Newsom. We're going to get into the full details. Before I go any further, guys, if you enjoy the daily content I provide for here on YouTube, I encourage you can help support the ministry over on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. Patreon.com/conservativetruth. That link in the description gets you access to over 25 exclusive podcasts where I talk more about sensitive information. You get the alerts for anything that goes out on Patreon, unlike YouTube, where you will not be notified of all the videos that I put out, even if you have that bell selected, because YouTube doesn't like me, but I know you guys do like me. So when you get done watching me here, browse back to check what you've missed. Please like this video, share it, hit the bell, subscribe, and I wear the glasses because I'm blind. So Calvary Chapel, San Jose, Pastor Mike McClure speaking to his congregation just the other day, as a matter of fact, warning them that very well, come next week, come next Sunday, that police could be there outside of the church, getting ready to write people citations, even possibly arresting people for showing up at the church. Well, that's because that ever since May 31st, when the church decided they were going to reopen, despite all of the restrictions, they have been accruing all of these fines. For all this time, $350,000 is currently where they're sitting right now. Now, as of right now, they're in court today discussing this case even further. A restraining order is most likely going to be going into effect against the church. Pastor McClure, he knew about that. He said, look, I'm called to preach. I'm doing what God has told me to do. We have 0 cases of the corona in our church. Now, they're in Santa Clara County, where in the county they have said that you are not allowed to have any more than 100 people for any sort of a gathering. Now, his church can hold up to 1,900 people, but currently he has about 600 people that are attending the weekly services. And he said this. He says, look, I'm not forcing anybody to come to the church. If they don't want to come to an in-person service, they don't have to. They can watch online. That's totally fine. He says, but you know what? We need to remain open, and we know what these numbers really are, and we're not concerned about it. We're not going to be afraid by it. We're not going to live our lives in fear. And, of course, the subject always comes up. Are you willing to go to jail over that? And Pastor McClure said, I'm just going to keep preaching. I'm going to keep doing what the Lord has told me to do. If that led to his arrest, well, then I'm sure he would happily go to jail, just like Pastor John MacArthur over at Grace Community Church in Sun Valley has said that he would be willing to do. So this attack on the churches in California is something that's continuing. But what I really love to see, and look, there's a split on this, but for the pastors that stand up, that are willing to stand up, and look, and they have legal representation, of course, and I'm glad that they do. But they're willing to defy the government in order to obey the Lord, which I think is admirable. We cannot allow them to take our religious liberty from us. We just can't. They're using this whole thing as this one big lie to try to take control of the church, to tell you, when and where and how many people can attend a worship service. And they have no right to do that according to the Constitution. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them deceive you. Don't let them tell you, oh, you're a super spreader. You're the ones that are responsible for so many people getting sick out there. That's all they're going to do. They're going to throw that on you all the time, try to make you feel bad, try to make you feel guilty, make it seem like it's your fault, and it's not. It's not your fault. It's their fault. It's all their fault. They want to try to keep you from worshiping God. They can't do it. They don't have a right to. Stand up to it. If you continue to comply, well, you're going to be looking at having 0 rights at all. So just something to think about. We need to pray for California. We really do. I believe there's going to be an awakening that happens in that state, a spiritual awakening unlike anything that we've ever seen. We've already started to see some signs of it already, and a lot of people there are waking up to the tyranny that's happening in that state. We saw a lot with the Trump trains and the rallies and everything, the people coming out in Beverly Hills over the last couple of days. So I think the tide might be starting to turn. When you mess with people's lives, not just with the churches, but other businesses as well, all of a sudden it doesn't really come about, it's not really about political party anymore at that point. And I think a lot of people are realizing that. I'll put some more information on this down below here in the description. Guys, you can let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, especially if you attend Calvary Chapel in San Jose. We'd love to hear from anybody who attends there. Your thoughts on what's happening there at the church. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back with more. You guys take care. Please be safe out there. God bless each and every single one of you, and I'll talk with you soon.